He is the answer to all. And just like we are talking here this morning about Achyuta, he's very happy that we are on this path, because this is Harikatha, this is Shravanam Kirtanam Vishnu Smaranam Padasevanam Archanam Vandanam Dasyam Shakyam Atmani Vedanam. It's a very clear and very important thing for us to understand that actually, yes, somebody cares for us. Who cares for you? Well, the Creator cares for you. The one who has created you, he cares for you. Just like mother and father, they kind of care for children because, well, they created them, no? Say, oh, now I have to look after them because, last not least, they came from my designing cabinet. Which is not really true. Everybody was designed by his karma. But somehow the genes of father and mother are allowed to interact there. But still what comes out is finally the individual karma. So Achyuta exists. Another thing, do you want to know whether he exists? That will be seen whether you read his messages or not. If you read, if you hear, if you contemplate, if you pray, if you chant his holy name, if you express your thanks to him, that means you want to be with him. That means you care for him. If you never chant, if you never read, if you never involve in his topics, then how will you show or how will you express that you want to be with him? So if you want to know about the Lord, then the next thing is whether you want to be his servant. Do you want to be the servant of the Lord? Do you want to do something practical for him? Do you want to be with him in the spiritual world? Do you want to end up there? Are you ready? Because one thing is you say you want to know about God, and the other thing is you say, yes, okay, I accept God exists. But does that mean you want to be really with him? And does it mean you say, okay, he exists, that's fine. Let God exist over there, but I'm busy right now here in Poland or in Germany, and I'm a little bit too busy. I can't really pay attention to God too much because I'm very busy here, busy making progress. You forget to wonder why, what life is in the first place, but why? Because you die. Huh? So you have to understand that. Are you going to do something about God or not? Are you going to worship him or not? Are you want to be his instrument of love, or do you just want to be the instrument of your lust? It's either that or either that. Instrument of your lust or his love. Those who are instrument of their own lust, they always want to have lusty affairs. They're not satisfied after they had a sexual relationship with one person. Then they want another one and another one and another one. Why do they want that? Because they're not feeling satisfied. If the whole meaning would just have lust, to have after lust you get sex, then you love that person and you feel completely satisfied. Oh yes, now I'm very satisfied. And now I shall live in up to the commitment of my love, lust, love. But it's not that way. It doesn't work that way. Lust is like fire, and when you want to satisfy that fire, you pour like gasoline into it. Oh, I thought it's going to go down a little bit, no? No, it's more. And therefore, lust is very dangerous. It's the worst enemy of all. Worst enemy of this world is lust. So, you lust, you get sex, you're supposed to love somebody, and you lust again, but now for somebody else. Oh, what is this? Oh, because I'm so lovely. No, you're so lusty. Not lovely at all. Lustiness is not loveliness. Not at all. It's something like very... Unless it is totally submissive to the Lord, lust means it makes you kind of a cheater. And who wants to be seen as a cheater? Everybody wants to be seen as a very gentleman, very honest. That's straight, you know? I'm a straight guy. I don't cheat on my wife, or I'm a good brahmachari. Otherwise, the lust instinct also, it shows you that it's full of aggression. That's why people together with lust, they want to punish or do something and become sadistic. Lust is such an ugly thing. And then people are so lusty, they're even thinking of having sex with animals. Sodomacy, whatever it's called. Having sex with animals. And then there's the rape of raping. Somebody who doesn't want to have any sex, he doesn't love you, or she doesn't love you. And the man says, I'm so lusty now, I'm just going to force her. So what's good about that? What's nice about all this? Nothing. But it's all by the same impulse of called lust. So if you want to love God, you have to say, no business with this lust. I will give my love to God. And I may give my love and have a family. There's nothing wrong with that. On the contrary, having a beautiful family is very nice, and taking care of a beautiful family is really good, really appreciated. Of course, when you do take care of a family, you should not think, now I'm in the authorized lust department. Because lust has many other subdivisions, you know. It's not only sex. Lust comes to you in the form of profit, adoration, and distinction. I want to get money and enjoy. So money and payments and buying things, it's like a kind of I'm the macho. Give me this. Here, take some money. Take it. It's mine now. I'm the joy. Profit, adoration, and distinction. I'm distinct than you. I mean, people, they get lusty killing. It is true. Killing makes lusty. You know that? They asked what kind of feelings these pilots had up there in the airplanes when they dropped the bombs on the people down there. And many of them said, I felt a sexual erection. How much you want to have to do with this lust? You better think it over twice. Again, I'm not a fanatic. I'm not against family. I'm not against producing beautiful children. This is very beautiful. And a lot of sacrifice. Ask any mother and father, is it a sacrifice or not? To be there with these little kids just screaming and... But we are not against it. We worship it. We say that sex life, which is not against a religious principle, it is Krishna himself. So what's wrong with that? Having sex life with your wife for having a child is just like chanting around. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Please, my Lord, send me a child that may serve you, and I can serve that child. I mean, it's more longer. I'm giving you the abridged version here, it's a whole process, garbhadana samskara, but that's the essence of it, in a nutshell. So that is glorified, but everything else, actually, having a child for Krishna is not an action of lust. It's an offering of love. Semen is God's own power, and offering that semen, planting a seed under the heart of a woman in full consciousness and prayer for a child to be born, this is a totally spiritual enactment. Nothing gross about it, nothing pornographic about it, even though you don't have to visualize it, but it's nothing, it's just sacred. Sacred organs, sacred process, sacred children, sacred person who benedicted all that for the sake of humanity and for the sake of existence, because last but not least, even turtles figure out how to have sex and to bring the children in the world. Huh? It's amazing. The creation of the Lord is so. There's varieties of sex life anywhere. If you're very keen to experience different types of sex life, you can be born as a monkey with a girlfriend in every tree. You can be born as a cockroach. Then you can have all the varieties of cockroach sex, crocodile sex, elephant sex. Whatever sex you want, you can experience. As a matter of fact, some degraded people in the world of sexual fantasy, they say, yes, a pigeon has all day sex, so I want to be a pigeon. Or a dog. Oh no, I want to be a frog. Because the frog has sex for 2-3 hours. He doesn't let loose, Then the frog is having sex and sex. Human beings, it's finished. Finished, get away. Fall asleep. So what is all this about? We have to understand it. It's about love. It's not about lust. It's a gift. If you worship it the wrong way around, then profit, adoration, and distinction, and that lust will grab you. Just like the killers, the hunters. They're sitting there with their rifle. I want to see the blood. They have bloodlust. Yes, they have the lust. Oh, yeah. There the deer is coming. Oh, now let me kill it. Blood. I am higher than you. I can kill you. I can do anything with you. I can torture you. And what's torture? Torture is it's a form of rape, which often becomes rape as well. All this is lust. Do you want to have anything to do with this? With this trash? This is the material world. Falling into the material world. Do you think you are in the world of lust because you are elevated? Come on. Whoever is sadistic, masochistic, whoever is sodomistic, whoever is doing anything, this is the most fallen condition. And since it is so obsessive and so intense, therefore the Lord tells you, okay, then take those bodies. Like the ass. When the ass sees the she-ass, he becomes really, really happy. And he starts singing his ugly songs. And the she-ass already knows what the guy wants. So when the ass approaches the she-ass, she's very expert and she kicks him in the nose. She knows how to do that. Really kick the guy. Ooh, it hurts because the nose of an ass is very soft, Very soft, of the kind ass. And he gets kicked again and again, and then somehow he manages to pass by the kicks and have sex. I mean, that's not the worst story. There's other worse stories. There's many species. After sex, the female kills the male and eats him. Spiders, and something like that, no? First they're having a good sex time, and then he's like, I guess, a bit exhausted, and she just turns around and feeds on him, no? You get all varieties, as you wish. As you wish or as you deserve. You can study about that in biology. And you can also read it in the human history of novels and romantic exchanges. That is another story, no? And as love goes, usually you fall in love with somebody who doesn't want anything to do with you. And that one is falling in love with another person who also doesn't want to have anything to do with it. So in this way, the whole thing is like entwined, a whole story of loving despairs. But very rarely a person decides, I will have sex only for God, or I will have no sex for God. Two versions, no? Sex only for God or no sex for God. Both are given blessings. And no sex for God is brahmacharya. It's also very, very beautiful. If you utilize your energy for preaching, if you give your vow of no sex for God to God, that means you have to give your love to God by giving your love to all the people He sends to you. And of course, for that you have to have an inner calling also, no? Either that or you just got to be young brahmachari. Young brahmachari, he has a good training of no sex for God, but it's temporary. And at some point, he may meet a wonderful woman in Krishna consciousness and wants to live with her for Krishna. And that's Prabhupada married his own disciples, so it's not an unknown thing. I'm not talking about fantasies. I think in South America and in my life I must have married close to 1,000 couples. Not as many as Mr. Moon from the Moonies. But in Krishna consciousness, many people got married. And hopefully they're also doing well being married. Unfortunately, Kali Yuga doesn't always happen so much. You cannot understand, you cannot figure it. Just one couple got married. I really liked them both. I wondered why they got married. It was a little too early. They got married, they lived together for a few years, 2 years or so. Didn't get along too well. And now they both want to get married again, but to somebody else. They're separated and now they want to try it out again with a different partner. I don't know. I mean, the first one to me looked like good girl, good boy, no? It looked to me, otherwise, if I think somebody's picking somebody who's not it, at least I tell them. Wait, doesn't look like will work for me. But what can you do? What can you do? Now we started a website on the internet. It's called Krishna Conscious Marriages. Because sometimes the girls come to me and they cry, give me a husband, give me a husband. I say, I don't know where to get those beasts. Those gentlemen. They're very hard to come by. I mean, when you talk to men about sex, they say, yeah. If you talk to them about marriage, they go, what do you want to tell me? You want to tell me that I have to work for the rest of my life? Oh. I've seen that reflection in the people's faces, so I know. I mean, to find a real good spiritual wife, yeah, that's something like a great blessing, and to find a good man who really wants to protect you in Krishna consciousness, that's another big blessing. Anyhow, we made this website. If somebody wants to get married badly, then he can present himself, and then he has to sign more papers than an insurance, I mean, I'm exaggerating, but you have to sign that. I am promising before the Lord that I want to get married to protect a woman in God's service. You have to really, I make you sign it. I make you sign it and say, and what do you have to offer, and what this woman is going to be in your life. I mean, I ask them so many questions that most of them run away before finishing the formula. What else you going to do? Tell me. I mean, it's not even my job. I'm a sannyasi. What do I have business? I mean, I'm not doing it myself. Lakshmi Sahasranam is doing it. But I say, if anybody's involved there who I know, I want to know all the details, because I don't want to. I got married with the help of Paramadvaiti Swami's conscious marriages, and then it became a whole failure. Of course, it may still be a failure, but because they are not keeping their promise. Before I say yes, you married, it should be great. Then I want to make sure they promise, because many people, they say marriage, yes, but as soon as they get married, they stop serving the temple. They don't do any service to the temple. If you stop doing service to the temple, I tell you, then your marriage life is already Grihamedi. Already, immediately you become Grihamedi. Grihamedi means somebody who's just interested in personal satisfactions. And if you are interested in personal satisfaction, then you cannot advance spiritually in this way. There's no sacrifice. Marriage must be a spiritual sacrifice. For Krishna. Krishna must be in the center. If you're marrying just for getting some pleasure, then I must tell you there will be a bad thing, because the woman who you marry, if she's a devotee, she doesn't want to be enjoyed by you. She wants to be enjoyed by Krishna. So we are doing something for Krishna together. Wow, it's beautiful. So in other words, we really study. If somebody has, for example, the man who wants to get married, they immediately think we're going to study, does he have any sign of leading responsibility? In the case of Govinda, when he wanted to associate with his fiancée, I said, yeah, Govinda's really serious. He's taking care of this temple for so many years, doing so much service, collecting, for even paying the rent sometimes, just by himself working hard. I mean, whoever's getting married to him, I mean, he's not going to throw her away and just be a rascal. You know how it used to be? If you get hold of a woman and you make her pregnant, her brothers, her father would come and say, you marry her and take care nicely of her, or I'll kill you. That's what it used to be in older days. You're not going to put my girl in the street with children and nobody looking after her. You're not going to do that, are you? Is that your plan? Then get ready to bite the dust. It's a great crime. It's a very great crime to do that. So in this way, I'm trying to make some safeties, for safe spiritual marriages. I'm trying to create some safety. You may say, oh, this guy's very orthodox. Why he doesn't leave them in peace? Let them just join together and back like hogs. The hogs may even have sex with their sister. No discrimination at all. So in this way it's very dangerous. Lust is very dangerous, and profit, adoration, distinction is very dangerous. You want to show your superiority to others. You want to show I'm better. And you want to be worshipped. Oh yeah, what a nice satisfaction. Applause. You're the big political leader. Wow. No. And it's distinction. Always, everybody wants to be worshipped. That's why in the company, when somebody gets moved to a higher position, it's like immediately his nose goes higher. Gets another position, his nose goes higher. And when he becomes a big boss, all you folks down there, shut up. I'm the boss now. So this nose rising, that's pride, no? I've become more than you. And its hostility of this type is found everywhere, in the military, in the institutions, everywhere. I'm more than you. I hope you understand that I got the job over yours. And you are under me. And I can fire you as well. So there's then so much abuse in the job. So much abuse. Everywhere is this most horrible abuse. And the people cannot do anything about it. Because they don't want to lose the job. They don't want to lose the security for their family. So if you like this material world, you must like it something, otherwise you would not be here. But if you've had it with it, if you say, that's it, I'm getting ready, then you get ready to leave this material world by becoming a real serious devotee of Krishna. And you say, this is my commitment to my brahmachari life, brahmacharini life, Vishnupriya life, or Grihastha life. This is my commitment. This is my vision. This is my dream. I want to live this way. I'll just suffer the rest. But we suffered already too much because we were so stupid. How many times you destroyed the neurons of your brain, getting intoxicated in one way or another, destroying this ability to be a bright servant of the truth, destroying it and leaving only behind some bag of anxieties and of course lusty. This lusty thing, this will not go from you in this world. You can only overcome it when you give your love to Krishna. Only in that curing experience, the lust will be gone. Actually, it will not be gone. It will transform. This is called Kama Rupa. Kama means lust. The form of lust, the Kama Rupa.